Thank you.
If I may ask, what do you do when you have some negative thoughts in your head? What is the simplest thing one can do to rid oneself of those negative thoughts,
So
overthinking and negative thoughts?
negative emotion, you see, mainly related with two things. One, self-centered attitude. I, my, like that. See, that. Then another sort of factor is we accept the reality as appears. The shunyata, anatma theory, and the shunyata theory, nothing exists as appears. So since all negative emotion very much based on appearances, so once you realize nothing exists as appears, the wisdom side, parija side, upaya side, altruism, so the antidote of self-centered attitude. So self-centeredness is one factor. And then believe or grasp things as appears. These two things are the basis of negative, destructive emotion. Okay.
LSD, psilocybin, DMT.
So with that Dalai Lama video, it is accurate to the T on how our mind experiences reality. Because there's been so many situations, especially for myself, where we believe our emotions, we believe the story that we are telling ourselves, but then as time goes on, we kind of relax, the waters chill out, and we have a greater and clearer vision, and we notice that the story that we were telling ourselves in our mind isn't accurate. It isn't true. It is fabricated due to a, untamed mind. It's just the mind's gone wild a little. And especially when we get fabricated in a story with our emotions and things are going rampant, it's very easy to fall into that stream work, to believing something to be accurate and true. But like the Dalai Lama said, nothing exists of how we perceive it to be. And in order to have a more accurate, truthful, and accurate assessment of what is going on, or what is the truth, or what is the narrative going on within our mind and reality, is to create that space to detach, meditate, and create that space for quiet time. Our mind's always going 24/7, different kinds of directions. And when you start learning to create that space where it's just like, your mind's running everywhere, and then it just kind of tunes down. You see that it's like, dude, I can't trust this thing all the time. I can't trust the thought process because it's operating on so many different levels. It's operating based on fear. It could be, security, our upbringing, society's narratives, norms, all these different stuff, especially, baggage from family. There's so many different ways of how we approach things. And it's on the subconscious level that interacts with our life without us even recognizing. But that tool that we can have to have an advantage over the rampant story that never ends is to just step back, sit down, clear our mind out. And too many people don't have the opportunity or don't create that space for that. And then they end up in that space believing what's existing in front of them is true and what is accurate. Dalai Lama said, what we perceive, that what exists, it's not what it really is. Even in this room, we see it as a solid environment, but the reality is everything's with atoms. How I'm constructed, these are atoms. This wood thing is just atoms moving around, but how we construct within our mind and how our brain creates that hallucination, we see it as a solid object. And there's so many different interpretations that we can use to perceive things in general. So if we allow ourselves to just slow down a bit, create that space and time frame to just relax and meditate, things can be different. We can change the story within our life, and we start recognizing that life is filled with so many opportunities, and we don't end up a prisoner within the story that we fabricate always for ourselves. So guys, hope you enjoyed that video with the Dalai Lama, and till next time, peace.